In this video, we'll be doing the camera comparison between the Redmi Note 5 Pro with the OnePlus 5T. So both of these smartphones are having dual cameras. So in the Redmi Note 5 Pro, we are having a 12 megapixel and a 5 megapixel rear facing shooter with a 20 megapixel front facing camera, and on the OnePlus 5T we are having a 16 megapixel and a 20 megapixel rear facing shooter. So in this video we'll be comparing the video as well as the photo with some portrait mode shots. So without further ado, let's get started.
Before starting this video, make sure to hit the red subscribe button on our channel and also press the bell icon beside it as to get quick notifications of our new uploads. So starting the side-by-side comparison with the front-facing camera on both the smartphones. We are walking with the front camera on and we are actually checking the video quality as well as the stabilization of the front camera. From both the footage, the front-facing camera video quality of both the smartphones is pretty good, as the skin looks sharp as well as the colors look perfect, but the stabilization looks better on the OnePlus 5T. Now coming to the rear-facing camera, in this video we are walking with both the smartphones and here we can see some similar results from both the smartphones. Both of them produces good quality video from the rear camera, both are having electronic image stabilization and both gives out some good quality stabilized footage. Now here we are running with the rear facing camera on, and here we can see some difference in stabilization as the footage from the OnePlus 5T looks bit more stabilized than the Redmi Note 5 Pro, but both of them produces some kind of contrast shift if you look at the sky on the top. Now let's check out the autofocus speed. First check out the autofocus in Redmi Note 5 Pro. The autofocus in the Redmi Note 5 Pro is really good for the first 2 times, but on the 3rd time it took around 3 to 4 seconds to focus on the subject. But that's not an issue as it happens with any smartphone. Now let's check out the autofocus in the OnePlus 5T. The autofocus seems fast in the 5T as well, and in this segment both of the smartphone gives out the same results. Talking about Slo-Mo, both of the smartphone make Slo-Mo at 720p at 120 frames per second, so the footage looks pretty slow, but the quality is not at all up to the mark from either of these smartphones. Now let's check out some pictures from the rear facing camera. Both of these pictures look sharp, but the colors are a bit vibrant on the picture from the OnePlus 5T. The rear-facing camera picture from the Redmi Note 5 Pro looks cooler comparing it to the picture from the OnePlus 5T, which is on the warmer side. So this is a selfie from the front-facing camera of both the smartphone without any kind of beauty mode. The colors as well as the detail in both the picture look similar, but the photo from the Redmi Note 5 Pro looks much better as the face is much more brighter comparing it to the picture from the OnePlus 5T. If you look at the grass in the background, the color is bit warmer in the picture taken with the 5T comparing it with the Redmi Note 5 Pro. Now talking about the front camera portrait shots, here the Redmi Note 5 Pro beats OnePlus 5T as the 5T doesn't have an option of front camera portrait mode. So these are some front camera portrait mode images taken with the Redmi Note 5 Pro. These are some rear camera portrait mode images from both the smartphones. Both the smartphone produces great looking portrait images, but the background blur on the Redmi Note 5 Pro looks much better than the OnePlus 5T. As always, the picture from the OnePlus looks way warmer, and this time it couldn't give out the proper white balance on the photo. The sharpness on the subject looks a bit more on the OnePlus 5T, but the edge detection is better on the Redmi Note 5 Pro. As if you look at the grass on the background in here, OnePlus 5T couldn't blur this part of the background and the Redmi Note 5 Pro did a better job here. These are some macro shots with the rear camera. The colors are exactly the same in both the images, but if we zoom in, we can see the detail and the picture is much sharper on the OnePlus 5T. On the next picture, the picture from the OnePlus looks a bit brighter, but when zoomed in, there is not much of a difference in sharpness in both the images. In this image, the sharpness is better in the Redmi Note 5 Pro as well as the background blur looks much more natural here comparing it with the picture from the OnePlus 5T. Now the dynamic range in both these smartphones is good, but in this picture the OnePlus 5T ones looks much more brighter. But if we zoom in on the dark areas of the picture, we won't see any major difference. The next image is of this building, and here the colors look much more natural in the 5T's image, as the picture from the Redmi Note 5 Pro looks bit faded. If we zoom in, then we can see the picture from the OnePlus is bit more sharper than the Redmi, as the artwork on the walls of the building is more prominent on the photo taken from the OnePlus 5T. But frankly speaking, when you zoom in the photos, the photo from the OnePlus 5T looks like it has been oil painted and not at all real, whereas the Redmi Note 5 Pro's image might look less sharper but produces natural looking image. Also, zooming in both the smartphones to its maximum in this photo gives out much sharper image on the 5T if you look at the tiles on the roof of this building. But if you look at the tree just beside it, you will be able to see the oil painted effect, which doesn't look natural. Now finally, coming to low light, this is a low light shot taken indoor, and both the smartphones shows similar results here. Moving to outdoors, we took some selfies. This is a low light selfie without the front facing flash. Unlike the 5T, the Redmi Note 5 Pro is having a front facing selfie flash, but even without the flash, the front facing selfie in low light looks much better on the Redmi Note 5 Pro. Now this is the selfie taken with the front facing flash of both the phone. The OnePlus 5T brightens up the screen and gives a flash effect. And here, in my opinion, the photo from the OnePlus looks much better in terms of background dynamic range and the overall color reproduction. This is the final image of the low light outdoor shot with the rear camera of both the smartphones, and here we can see some difference as the photo from the OnePlus has got better contrast comparing with the faded look in the photo from the Redmi Note 5 Pro. Now zooming in, both of them are having good detail, but the colors are much more vibrant on the OnePlus 5T's photo. Now guys, that's it for the in-depth camera comparison of both of the smartphones. The OnePlus 5T cost 33,000 Indian rupees, whereas the base model of the Redmi Note 5 Pro cost 14,000 Indian rupees. Even we have a huge price difference, we couldn't see a major difference in the pictures from both the smartphones. Now the choice is upon you, which camera is better. Do let us know in the comment section. And that's all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button down below and also subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one.